across the world. I am Lakshita Singh and joining me tonight is Sharifa Tahir. The president criticizes responsible nature of developed countries. A discussion between the Sri Lankan president and the director of the IMF. A fraud of nearly 70 million rupees in purchasing vaccines. Construction of the western terminal of the Colombo harbour begins. The United Nations organization continues to provide humanitarian aid to Sri Lanka. The second monkeypox patient has been detected in the country. The Trump faction secures more victories in the US midterm elections. Pakistan qualifies for the finals of the T20 World Cup cricket tournament.
Dude hits the winning night the first time in 30.
On to those and other stories in detail. We start off with the top story for tonight. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the developed countries are not adhering to their responsibilities on financing climate commitments.
He has made these remarks addressing the COP27 or Global Climatic Changes International Conference of the United Nations, which is being conducted in Egypt.
Poorer nations need more help and the global north should pay more. That's the message coming out of the UN's climate conference in Egypt. There's been some frank criticism from the leaders of some developing countries. Here's the president of Sri Lanka.
Developed nations should be giving leadership to overcome climate challenges rather than abdicating their responsibilities. It's ironic that the $100 billion pledged annually have not been available in the coffers to finance climate challenges, as many developed nations deem it fit to renege on their climate financing contributions.
The international media have turned attention on the address of the president. The Indian media as well as some Western media have also reported on the issue. Special reports have been published in the Reuters, Al Jazeera and Pakistani media networks as well. The Indian media have stressed on the proposal of the president to establish an international university in global climatic changes in Sri Lanka. It has also commented on the President Ranil Wickremesinghe's reference on the dual policy of some powerful nations.
In the meantime, President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Mrs. Kristalina Georgieva, were reported to have conducted discussions on debt management. Director of Presidential International Affairs Dinuk Colombage says the president was engaged in the talks on the sidelines of the COP27 or the Climatic Change Conference of the United Nations in Egypt. Finance Minister of Ghana Ken Opori and Speaker of the Parliament of Maldives Mohamed Nasheer have also participated in the meeting. The Department of the Auditor General has recommended to conduct a systematic investigation on the serious financial frauds alleged to have been conducted in purchasing vaccines.
The Auditor General's report points out that a sum of 68.7 million rupees had been spent on a project which cost only 400,000 rupees, and this was disclosed in an audit conducted with regard to the State Pharmaceuticals Corporation. 1,560 units of Pepavarine HCl 60 mg 2 milliliter vaccine identified as a requirement by the Medical Supplies Division of the Ministry of Health in the year 2021 was purchased for a sum of 68.59 million rupees. There was only one bidder in the competitive bidding conducted by the SPC. The estimated price of a unit was 255 rupees and 7 cents. However, a bid has been placed at 40,868 rupees per one unit. The Department Procurement Committee had given approval to purchase 3,125 units at the unit price of 40,868 rupees and 98 cents. Accordingly, the total expenditure was 127.72 million rupees. According to a decision of the Department Procurement Committee, letters of credits was to be opened only for 1,250 units, which was 40% of the total vaccine requirement. The report adds that, however, letters of credits had been opened for 1,563 units costing 68.73 million rupees, exceeding the approval of the procurement committee. Out of the 1,560 units purchased on the 18th of July 2021, 1,421 units remain on the 20th of August 2022. The date of expiry of these vaccines is February 2023. The common contract agreement was not registered and not presented to the SPC. In the meantime, duties of a female principal of Gangamua Junior School in Bandaragama have been suspended.
Upon our inquiry, Director of Education, Western Province, Srilal Noni said the ban is being enforced during the period the principal is incarcerated. The charge filed against her is inhuman assault on a group of students of the school over an incident of stealing a money purse of a female teacher. Investigations conducted so far have revealed that the principal, after punishing the students, tormented them further in the presence of police officials. Director of Education, Western Province, Srilal Noni said that a group of investigators are currently conducting inquiries. The female principal connected to the issue has been placed under detention. The Director of Education further said that according to the prevailing law, a person accused of such an offence is being subject to suspension of duties during the period of detention.
රාජකාරී නිල ප්‍රධාන කිරීමක් සිදු කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි. ඒ අනුව අද දිනේ අපි විද්‍යාඥ රාජකාරී නිල ප්‍රධාන කිරීම සිදු කරලා තියෙනවා. පරීක්ෂා වාර්තාවලින් ඉදිරි ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ප්‍රයත්න කරන්න නියමිතව තියෙනවා.
A special inquiry is being conducted through mediation of the Ministry of Education. The National Child Protection Authority is also conducting an investigation regarding the harm inflicted on the students. A separate investigation is being carried out by the police as well.
It has been reported that more than 300 illegal Sri Lankan migrants who have been brought to Vietnam were directed to a detention centre. A communique issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs a short while ago says measures are underway to bring back the group as soon as possible with the assistance of foreign governments. All the 303 passengers in the craft were believed to be Sri Lankan nationals. The ministry adds that the Vietnamese authorities are engaged in establishing the identity of the illegal migrants. The report further says the Sri Lankan Embassy and the Consul General of Vietnam are acting in close collaboration with the Vietnamese authorities. The craft carrying the group of Sri Lankan migrants was found stranded in a dilapidated condition near the Spratly Islands located in the seabelt between the Philippines and Vietnam last Monday. Due to the SOS messages released by the ill-fated craft, the Sri Lankan Navy, with the assistance of the Foreign Ministry, is enlightened on the countries the Philippines, Vietnam and Singapore. Accordingly, the Japanese vessel Heloi's leader has reached the location and rescued the Sri Lankan migrants. The human racketeers who were transporting the group were reported to have fled. The preliminary investigations revealed that the vessel of illegal migrants was attempting to reach Canada.
Construction in the Colombo Harbour Western International Terminal with a direct investment of $780 million has commenced today under the Colombo Harbour Expansion Project. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva and the Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Gopal Bhagle, have presided over the event by filling sand for a new terminal construction. The terminal, with an extent of 65 hectares, would be engaged in an annual operational capacity of 3 million containers. A separate institute has been established for the implementation of the project by the Western Colombo International Terminal Private Company. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva says the new terminal would bring many benefits to Sri Lanka.
We are very happy to be here today because, as it is said by the investors, that this is the biggest FDI project in Sri Lanka in the modern time. So when the Sri Lanka is struggling to earn foreign exchange by various means, this has been a catalyst for our development in Sri Lanka. So therefore, we are very delightful today because I wanted this terminal to come up very, very soon. So we are thankful to the government of India and Adani Group and your company for coming to Sri Lanka and investing here, because it is geopolitically also very important to us to ensure that we have excellent relationship with India, and at the same time we should have a business interaction more with the Indian entrepreneurs. That has been in the past also, and we are grateful to India. During the good times as well as the difficult times, India had rescued us. What is important is that the modern technology must be transferred to this port. As far as the technology is concerned, I think we are behind the other developed ports in this area. And the Adani Group coming here, and I know they have more than 10 ports they are controlling in the Indian Ocean. So we have selected the best investor, because we have to reap the benefit of their experience and their contacts in the Indian Ocean ports. I am happy to state that 99% of the recruits will be from Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan young workers will be trained here, and will create employment, and the transfer of technology will be there.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that financial and technological assistance of developed countries is needed by the countries which face the harmful consequences of climatic changes. He has made these observations addressing the 28th session of the Global Water Partnership South Asia in Negombo today. The Prime Minister has pointed out that certain countries are being deprived of their national incomes for several days due to the occurrence of natural calamities. He has reiterated that such countries could confront harmful results under such circumstances, as they are not economically vibrant to face an emergency. Prime Minister Gunawardena has further pointed out that provision of pure drinking water and sanitation facilities for all schools in the South Asian region should be guaranteed by the year 2030. The assistance of the specialist is being anticipated in this regard. He added that Sri Lanka is taking measures to fulfill the target of providing water sanitary facilities to all schools by 2030. He further said that solutions are also needed for long-term droughts. Water for All program is being implemented with the objective of providing water to all the needy persons. This program has been carried forward continuously despite the unexpected obstructions such as the COVID pandemic and the economic crisis. The increasing demands of sanitation could be effectively managed with intellect. Regional President of the Global Water Partnership South Asia, Kusum Atakorala, has organized the conference, which is being attended by representatives from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, the Maldives and India.
Acting Minister of Finance Ranjit Siambalapitiya says the sum of 16 billion rupees deprived to the government due to the reduction of the special commodity tax on imported sugar will be recovered through income taxes. He has made these remarks presenting to the Parliament a report of the Commissioner of Inland Revenue based on the Auditor General's report on the reduction of sugar tax. Parliamentarian Lakshman Kiriyala said that a loss of 16 billion rupees was reported to have occurred in purchasing sugar and questioned on the measures to recover the loss. Acting Minister of Finance Ranjit Siambalapitiya said that under the existing law, the government could impose income on the groups which had received the undue profit. Parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva said that the minister has stated that tax frauds has risen to 168 million rupees. He added that 24% of the amount equaling to 256 million rupees could be offset by in the form of imposing income taxes.
A ceremony to commemorate 7 months of the golfers' protest was organized by civil activists and those connected to the struggle near the golfers' green today. The group had attempted to light lamps at the Bandaranaike statue, but the police did not permit them to do so. As a result, a heated environment has arisen between the police and the agitators. Thereafter, the protesters lit candles near the Golf Face Hotel and remembered those killed in the struggle.
The United Nations has decided to further extend the period of appealing for emergency humanitarian relief for 3.4 million Sri Lankan citizens affected by the economic crisis. The UN hopes to amass $149.7 million as emergency aid for Sri Lanka. Implementation of the global appeal jointly conducted by the UN and non-governmental relief organizations has commenced in June of this year. The UN says so far the country has received $79 million of assistance. The aid group hopes to collect $70 million more by the end of the year. A joint communique of the UN and non-governmental organizations extends their gratitude to the international community for the cooperation extended on Sri Lanka. The UN adds that emergency food and medicinal assistance will be provided only to the groups most affected by the crisis. According to the estimates of the relief services organizations, around 7 million Sri Lankans have been affected. South Korea has taken measures to provide $1.2 million to uplift Sri Lanka's fishing industry. The funds are being utilized for a project conducted by the UN Food and Agriculture Organizations. $3.9 million have been allocated for a prawn breeding project. The project has got underway with the participation of Korean Ambassador in Sri Lanka Santush Wonjing Ye-yong, Minister of Fisheries Douglas Devananda and UN officials.
In the meantime, the second monkeypox patient has been detected in Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Health says that the patient, who has arrived from Dubai, was directed for treatment. The first monkeypox patient in Sri Lanka was identified on the 4th of this month.
A survey says that 6 types of wild animals destroy 40% of the annual crop harvest. The harmful animals include the elephant, peacock, monkey, wild boar and the giant squirrel. The destructive nature of these animals on the crops was established in a survey conducted by the Hektakobakadu Agrarian Research and Training Institute, headed by the research scientist Mrs. Renuka Veerakode. The report elaborates on the revenue losses in the paddy, fruits, vegetables, coconut and cocoa cultivations. Monkeys and giant squirrels annually destroy around 107 million coconuts. Peacocks destroy paddy and other crops extensively. Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture Rohana Pushpakumara has handed over the report to the Minister Mahinda Amaravira recently.
The organisation Nantare Andhaharaya and the Maharagama Public Council have jointly organised a protest by lighting lamps in Maharagama today. A group of farmers in Mahayangane were engaged in an agitation today, demanding a permanent solution to the problem of wild elephants. They have requested to erect a permanent electric fence covering the area to safeguard the lives and properties.
The agitators blocked the road near the Mahaveli Bridge after arriving from the Mahayangana town. The protesters dispersed after the divisional secretary promised to provide a speedy solution to their problem. Stay tuned with us. News from overseas coming your way after this short break.
Hot and spicy cricket, KTM delivery, Sashi Packet Irakam, இரண்டு மூன்று நான்கு மூன்றுக்கு SMS செய்யுங்கள். தினம்தோறும் 2,50,000 ரூபாய் பண பரிசுகள், மேலும் பெறுமதியான பரிசுகள் நவம்பர் 30 வரை மட்டுமே.
Prima Katami, Fantamai.
Welcome back. Results are being declared in the US midterm elections with control of Congress hanging in the balance.
Republicans are likely to take control of the House of Representatives according to projections, but the Senate fight is on a knife edge. If Democrats lose control of either, Republicans will be able to block President Joe Biden's agenda. Democrat John Fetterman, who suffered a stroke in May, defeated his Republican opponent Mehmet Oz to flip a key Senate seat in Pennsylvania. But the results of 4 incredibly close Senate races that will decide the contest have yet to be called, with the race in Georgia likely to go on to another vote in December. In Kentucky, voters rejected an amendment that would have removed abortion rights from the Constitution, adding to wins for pro-choice activists to other states. Former President Donald Trump has seen some of his endorsed candidates fail.
American actor Sean Penn has given his Oscar to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during a visit to the capital, Kyiv. Video posted on Mr. Zelensky's Telegram channel also showed the president awarding Penn Ukraine's Order of Merit. Penn, who is known for his political activism as much as he is for films, fled Ukraine in March while filming a documentary about the conflict. He later said he considered joining Ukrainian forces to fight against Russia.
Nice to meet you. Hello,
This is for you.
Oh, Sean.
Yes.
No.
Please.
That is yours.
No, I feel terrible outside. It's just a symbolic, silly thing.
Yes, but
if I know this is here with you, then I'll feel better and stronger for the fight.
So great to honor.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk has sold another 19.5 million shares of the electric car maker worth $3.95 billion. The news comes less than 2 weeks after the world's richest man completed his $44 billion takeover of Twitter. Tesla's share price has fallen by more than 50% since the start of this year. Separately, Tesla is recalling just over 40,000 of its vehicles in the US because of a potential problem with their power steering. The reason for the latest sales, which took place in the last week, has not yet been disclosed. The latest sale brings the total value of Tesla shares sold by Mr. Musk to almost $20 billion since he announced earlier this year that he had bought a stake in Twitter. He sold $8.5 billion of Tesla stock in April this year and around another $7 billion worth in August. Also in August, Tesla shareholders approved a 3-for-1 stock split, which is behind part of the fall in the value of the shares. On Tuesday, Tesla recalled just over 40,000 of its cars in the US because of a potential power steering problem.
Prima Stella Set Yogurt.
ජය ගන්න වැඩි වෙන්න.
Move on to take a look at the sports news for today. A special discussion has been conducted yesterday regarding Sri Lankan cricketer Danushka Gunatilaka, who is currently being imprisoned in Australia. Minister of Sports Roshan Ranasinghe presided over the meeting.
Chairman of the National Sports Council Arjuna Ranatunga and Secretary to the Ministry of Sports Consultant Dr. Amal Harsha De Silva have also participated in the discussion. Several groups have also been convened for talks under several rounds. Statements have been recorded from captain of the Sri Lanka team Dasun Shanaka and head coach Chris Silverwood, as well as from manager of the team Mahinda Halangoda. Minister of Sports Roshan Ranasinghe said that they have instructed to take a comprehensive report on the members of the team who left their hotels during night and day times. The investigations have revealed some important facts. Meanwhile, it has also been reported that Sri Lankan cricket has decided to seek the services of another attorney at law on behalf of Danushka Gunatilaka. Attorney at law Dr. Shanaka Senanayaka says that another bail application is scheduled to be submitted next Friday.
Meanwhile, Pakistan qualified for the finals of the T20 World Cup cricket tournament by defeating New Zealand in the semi-final round today. The match was played in Sydney.
New Zealand has scored 152 runs with the loss of 4 wickets. Daryl Mitchell not out 53 and captain Kane Williamson 46. Shaheen Shah Afridi took 2 wickets. In reply, Pakistan reached the victory target of 153 runs with a 105-run partnership between the openers. Mohammad Rizwan 57, Trent Boult captured 2 wickets.
Stupendous shot. There for the New Zealand batters. Here it is. Down the ground, and that is it. Shan Masood hits the winning runs, and Pakistan are absolutely ecstatic in the dugout. And why not? The first time in 13 years they have reached a World Cup final.
Sri Lankan cricketer Wanindu Hasaranga has been successful in leading the International Cricket Council rankings on best bowlers in the T20 tournament. Earlier, Afghan player Rashid Khan was in the first place. Hasaranga has received 704 bonus points and he's also secured the 8th place in the ranking of all-rounders in the T20 tournament.
Samagi Jana Balawegaya parliamentarian Nalin Bandara says that the Sri Lanka cricket should come under the administration of an interim governing committee. He made these observations in the parliament today.
Characteristics.
Samagi Jana Balawegaya parliamentarian Nalin Bandara said that it was during the days of the interim committee on cricket that work had progressed well. He has called on to appoint a similar interim committee. The parliamentarian has also recalled that at the time of the 1996 World Cup, there were only 14 players in the team and 11 of them took part in the matches. The FIFA World Cup football tournament is around the corner. The national broadcasting rights within Sri Lanka is with the national television.
The tournament will be conducted in Qatar, centering on 8 playgrounds. The special playground is the Al Thamuna, located in Doha City. The playground accommodates 40,000 spectators.
Prima Stella Set Yogurt.
ජය ගන්න වැඩි වෙන්න.
And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Until then, stay safe and good night.